I have properly pissed off someone in the no contact with parent community, someone likely who is a mother or a father or a parent of someone who went no contact with them. And how do I know this? Someone reported my video for harassment and bullying, part 2 of the Mother-in-Law Chronicles, which there was no harassment and bullying. I'm simply telling my experience, my lived experience, my story of what happened to my husband and I that led to the decision to go no contact. And now, when I say led to the decision to go no contact, the decision to go no contact with my mother-in-law is something that my husband decided. I can't choose that for him. In fact, there were many times throughout this series, as you will see, where I urged him to have a relationship with her. Making the decision to go no contact with a parent is not a decision that most children take lightly. It's not a happy thing to do. I would much rather have a relationship with my mother-in-law that was a healthy relationship than have a series on my page of why I'm no contact with my mother-in-law. Like, it is not a fun place to be to have someone who just hates your soul. Not great. But I figured while we wait for the whole part 2 issue to be rectified so that I can continue with the series, I could answer a few questions you may have. So number 1 question is my husband an only child? And kind of. He's his mom's only son. She has no other kids. She did not raise any other kids, but he has 2 brothers that he did not learn about until he was 13 years old. So he saw a photo of his dad and his grandpa holding a baby. I think that's the story. And the baby was not him. And he was like, is that me? And his dad's like, no, that's your brother. And he's like, what brother? And he's like, well, you have 2 brothers and they live in California. And I have met them, and I actually met them at his father's funeral. So that's another question. Is his dad still with us? Is his dad okay? That is a whole part of the story that we will get to later. We're kind of jumping the gun a little bit on that. But no, his dad is not with us anymore. And his dad was married to his mom the entire time, like through this entire chronicle until he passed. Another question I get a lot is, have my kids met her? Do they know about her? Because I told you guys I don't film these in front of my children. I'm currently hiding in the bathroom. My children don't remember her, but they did meet her. We were on and off no contact because this occurred over years and years and years. They're only 4 and 6 now, and that was years ago. So I'm sure you're wondering, Jessica, why are you sharing this story? And I'll tell you why. Because I am not alone. My husband is not alone. We are not the only people who have gone through this. We are not the only people going through this. Luckily for us, the story is over. We are completely no contact with her. We will not have any more contact with her at this point. But to get to this point, it was a long journey of a lot of really hard decisions that we've had to make. We didn't just go no contact one time and that was it. We had to do it over and over and over again. And people will tell you to just keep it quiet, keep it in the family, keep the peace, don't make waves. All of these things, respect the sainted mother. And I say to that, no. Because when you do that, you are just empowering the toxic person to continue being more toxic to you. You are just showing them that the behavior that they are doing towards you is acceptable, and it is not. So if you are in this situation and you feel desperately alone, continue watching the story. If you are a parent whose children have gone no contact with you and you're wondering what you did wrong, please watch this series and maybe you can understand that this is a heart-wrenching decision that my husband had to make, because I could not tell him to go no contact with his mother. In fact, many points throughout this story, I was the reason that he stayed in contact with her, because he had lived this for his entire life. I had only lived this since me and him got together. So let me know your questions in the comments below. Keep your fingers crossed that we'll get part 2 back up and we'll continue with this series as soon as that happens.